Hey y'all, today I'm gonna show you how to cook bonita. And the trick is, don't cook it at all, because we're making spicy bonita, crispy rice. All right, so I got my sides of Atlantic bonito. I'm gonna trim all this, any bloodline out, anything that looks undesirable, trim that up. Doesn't have to be perfect. Get rid of all that. It's good to have a real sharp knife when you're doing this, even a fillet knife. Yeah, look at that. Good enough to eat already. This clean's very similar to blackfin tuna. Look at that, real white meat. It looks real good. I mean, these bad boys are beautiful. Just want to reiterate, this is Atlantic bonito and not, well, it's albacore. A lot of people call them bonitas. That's a real red meat. Edible, not great. So this is a little bit different. So next step, I'm gonna try to cut them into maybe 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch cubes. If they're not perfect, it's fine. It's totally fine. If you want a little bit thicker, you can do them a little bit thicker. But this is how I like to do it. Oh yeah. Time to get them into that bowl. Chop up a little bit of the green part of a green onion. Add those in. A little bit of color. Now time to make that sauce. All right, so our sauce is really gonna be 3 things. It's going to be equal parts of each, probably about a tablespoon of each. And that's gonna be number 1 and probably most important, a little bit of Bachan's regular. Tablespoon. Always add a little bit more something if you like it. Number 2, it's gonna be yum yum sauce, and you know we're going with Terry Hose. Beautiful. And last, but definitely not least, give a little bit of that spice, is some sriracha. And give her a mix. I like it saucy. And one little last finishing touch is going to be both black and white sesame seeds. Just give it a little bit of that crunch. Maybe 1/2 tablespoon of each. I mean, it is good enough to eat already. In fact, I gotta make sure it doesn't need anything. Whoa. Dang, that's good. All right, so I'm gonna get this wrapped up and I'm gonna get this in the refrigerator. All right, now that we got that spicy bonita marinating and falling in love in the refrigerator, I'm gonna go over exactly how to make the crispy rice part. I got my sushi rice from the store. It says you're not supposed to clean it. You don't have to. I cleaned it anyway. I put it in a colander and washed it off until the water coming off of it was not milky looking anymore. And that took about 3 or 4 minutes. And then I added it to my rice cooker, and then I simply put a little bit of water in there and pressed a button, and presto, it came out perfect. So the other important part about rice, sushi rice, is the vinegar that goes on it. So I put about 1/2 cup of rice vinegar in there, tablespoon of sugar, just granulated regular sugar, and then I'll put about a tablespoon of salt. And I whisked it until it was all totally dissolved together, and then frothed it over the rice. Now I'm not a sushi rice expert, but this tends to work out pretty good for me. I put a piece of parchment down on a small cookie tray, and then I'll just put that rice on there. And one little trick to help move rice around with your fingers, to get your fingers wet, that will help you move rice easily. And then so I spread it out pretty evenly across there. It doesn't have to be too even. And then I put the parchment paper, another piece of parchment paper back on top of it, put a same size cookie sheet on top of it, and pressed it down as hard as I could, and put it in the refrigerator for about an hour to let it kind of form shape. Got my sheet of rice out. Thing a little bit wet. Once you get the cutting board wet, it just kind of helps everything not stick. Got the knife wet. And I just simply cut it into about 2.5 inch by 2.5 inch cubes. You can do as big or small as you want, but I like a little bit of bite with mine. Kind of messed up there on the end, but who's counting? All right, we got our pan over medium-high heat. Coming in there with a little bit of Kikkoman sesame oil. A fair amount in there, not too much. Let that heat up for a second. We're gonna come in here with our Rice Krispies. If it's not sizzling, take it off. And we're just gonna do them in batches. You don't wanna overcrowd the pan. We're not in any big rush. Just gonna do them in batches. Probably give them about maybe 1.5 minutes each side. Don't wanna burn them. All right, so it's been exactly 1 minute and 35 seconds. Give them a flip. Color is what we're looking for. All right, they're looking good, smelling good. Taking them off, putting them on a wire rack. We got that rice all crispy. And now it's time to start assembling. Put some Krispies down. Gotta pick the crispiest ones. Take a big old heaping spoonful of that Bonito. It's alright if it falls off the sides. Take one more little squirt of sriracha. Sprinkle of green onion for a little bit of show. And we're ready to try these out. Mmm.